Right, steps in between the two big men. And the new season is underway. The opening tip.
Kevin Durant, it doesn't matter. So,
That's double. Durant takes it. Edwards. Pull up, Jay. Got it!
Opening night in Portland. Game 1 of a long-awaited NBA season. But as the final buzzer sounds, no one inside this arena knows that within hours, the head coach of the Blazers will become the center of one of the most stunning FBI investigations in modern sports history.
That pressure thing is nothing to me, man. I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may. You know that about me by now, quick.
All right, we've got some breaking news for you. Miami Heat point guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups have been arrested.
Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier have both been arrested.
Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier were arrested as part of FBI investigations into sports gambling.
These are two distinct criminal indictments, both of them involving gambling, and one of them specifically involving the mafia, 4 of the 5 organized crime families.
This is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years.
A story that was a combination of James Bond meets Casino, meets Uncut Gems, meets Rounders, meets reality. What is happening?
We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery.
This is something that everybody in professional sports understood was a reality when they embraced the legalization of widespread sports betting.
Traditional mob enforcement methods combined with new technology to expand the reach of their operations.
Chauncey Billups was literally coaching an NBA game last night in Portland, a loss to Minnesota, and he was arrested this morning at 6 a.m. in Portland.
2 days after the NBA season tipped off, federal agents made their move. Before sunrise, the FBI announced a sweeping operation spanning 11 states, resulting in the arrest of 30 individuals, including current and former NBA figures Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones. The timing was no accident. What began as a routine game week would end as one of the most shocking mornings in league history, marking the collision between America's fastest growing pastime and the integrity of professional sports as we know it.
You want to make every game interesting? Step 1, open the BetMGM Sportsbook.
To understand how this moment became possible, we have to look at how quickly sports betting moved from back rooms to prime time. In just 6 years since the federal ban on sports wagering was lifted, more than 39 states have legalized online sportsbooks, 32 of which now let fans place bets on their favorite sports conveniently from their phones. The NBA, once weary of gambling, was the first major sports league to sign a sponsorship with a sports gambling company back in 2018, and has since signed sponsorships with other major platforms, even showcasing odds on pregame shows and broadcasts.
The cultural evolution around sports betting and how now gambling is part of every conversation. It used to be that people talked about sports, the numbers, the percentages, the hitting, the points, but now they talk about the lines, the over-under. But it's just not people generally, it's actually the commentators, it's the networks, it's social media that you can't separate out. It's the gambleification of sports that they're now one and the same thing.
In addition to this, prop bets, wagers on a player's individual stats, have exploded in popularity across every major sport. For fans, it adds excitement, a new way to feel directly involved with the teams and athletes themselves. But for players, the newfound pressure to perform or underperform has grown.
Usually it's some guy who's mad that you're not cashing in on his bet. If I were to look at my mentions right now, I'm sure the majority of them are about me up somebody's parlay.
I need 2 more points, homie. 2 more points, you care about parlay.
Now every rebound, assist, or even jump ball could swing thousands of dollars. And it's this new environment in pro sports that federal investigators say allowed for two elaborate schemes to flourish in the shadows. This isn't the first time the National Basketball Association has faced a crisis of trust. In 2007, Tim Donaghy admitted to betting on games he officiated, shaking the NBA to its core. 15 years later, former Raptors forward Jontay Porter pleaded guilty to manipulating prop bet outcomes, the first modern test of the league's new integrity systems. Since then, the NBA strengthened its monitoring and partnered with sportsbooks to detect irregular wagers, hoping it'd close the door. But in 2025, it appears that one of the biggest sports gambling scandals of the modern era has once again taken headlines.
This is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years.
According to federal prosecutors, Operation Nothing But Net targeted a sports corruption ring that stretched across 11 states. The FBI says the scheme exploited confidential information from within NBA circles, injury reports, playing time rotations, anything that could help to place prop bets that routinely paid tens of thousands of dollars. 6 defendants are named in this first indictment, among them active NBA player Terry Rozier and former player now coach Damon Jones. Prosecutors alleged that Rozier told associates he would leave a regular season game on March 23, 2023, early with an injury. Soon after, more than $200,000 were wagered on his unders due to the prior insight given. Come game time, Rozier exited after just 9 minutes, leading to Terry underperforming his projected prop bets. Following this, the FBI says the group counted their winnings, including tens of thousands of dollars in profit for Terry at Rozier's house later that same night.
The sports books caught the irregular betting on Terry Rozier the day it happened, the morning it happened, when all of a sudden there was hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in on Terry Rozier unders for a relatively meaningless game in March, involving the Charlotte Hornets. The sports books caught it. They told the NBA right away, and guess what? The NBA, Rozier didn't play the rest of the season, and he had faked the injury, so it wasn't because of the injury. The NBA pulled him. The NBA at some point is going to have to explain why Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing.
In the case of former player and coach Damon Jones, the ex-Cavalier was allegedly feeding privileged injury information in order to facilitate illegal sports betting, including sharing the injury status of none other than LeBron James, according to ESPN.
Damon Jones, who was sort of a volunteer assistant with the Lakers for several years, they accuse him of saying that LeBron was, and they don't say LeBron's name to be clear, they just say, they call him player 1 or player 2 or something like that, but they reference a game against the Bucks in 2023. It was the game after LeBron broke the scoring record, and LeBron was a relatively late scratch in that game, didn't play, and that information was used by people that Damon Jones told about it before it was public information. Then a year later, Damon apparently, according to the indictment, told these co-conspirators again that LeBron or Anthony Davis, it's not clear which, because both were on the injury report for a certain game against the Thunder, that they would either not play in that game or play less than normal minutes.
For the Lakers with Holmgren in front of him. Bounce LeBron! Here he comes down the middle to score.
In fact, LeBron and AD did play in that game, did play their regular minutes, and the Lakers pulled the upset. And the bettors, according to the indictment, the bettors were pissed off at Damon and asked for their money back that they had paid him for the information.
Investigators also alleged that former Raptors player Jontay Porter was threatened to join the betting scheme after racking up gambling debts, suggesting parts of this network operated through intimidation and extortion, not just opportunity. The FBI identified multiple teams whose games were allegedly wavered on using insider information. The Charlotte Hornets, Portland Trailblazers, Los Angeles Lakers, and Toronto Raptors. No other members of franchises or additional players have been charged, but federal agents say more arrests could come. It is here that I must say these are allegations contained in an unsealed federal indictment. As of this recording, none of the accused have been convicted, and all are presumed innocent. The betting case was only half the story. A second indictment, Operation Royal Flush, uncovered an operation even larger, one that allegedly mixed high-stakes poker, hidden technology, and the Italian Mafia. According to the FBI, the defendants in Operation Royal Flush used high-tech cheating tools in underground poker games, such as modified shuffling machines, chip trays fitted with cameras, special contact lenses that allowed the user to see secretly marked cards, and even X-ray poker tables capable of reading face-down cards. Investigators say the acquisition of these tools was done by various methods, including one instance where a rigged card shuffling machine was allegedly stolen at gunpoint.
Need a three, and they have just under 3 seconds to do it. Here's Chauncey Billups. Here it is. He's got it. He's got it. Chauncey Billups hits the three.
Having made a name for himself over his Hall of Fame NBA career, which included leading the Detroit Pistons to the NBA Finals and winning Finals MVP in 2004, former players like Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones were used to entice high-rolling players who were interested in playing alongside professional athletes, and allegedly joined games that were secretly fixed, which lost victims millions.
Do we know at all if Billups was aware of his role in sort of bringing in marks, if you will?
Prosecutors say that he was in on it, that he was part of the scheme to lure people in and to lend this an air of legitimacy.
At the center of this operations, agents say, was La Cosa Nostra, the Italian Mafia. In the aftermath of these events, 13 members of organized crime families were arrested, accused of providing protection, laundering profits, and threatening those who tried to walk away.
These defendants did what organized crime has always done. They used threats, they used intimidation, and they used violence. It's the same pattern that we have seen for decades. Traditional mob enforcement methods combined with new technology to expand the reach of their operations.
The FBI calls this the most significant overlap of organized crime and professional sports gambling in decades. Insight into what some of these alleged poker games may have been like can be heard here from professional poker player Matt Berkey, who interestingly enough referenced a similar sounding situation back around 2019.
There was this game, it started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up. And I was like, well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up.
Yeah.
And it obviously was for sure confirmed to be cheated. Like, people who clearly didn't even understand the rules of No Limit Hold'em are just jamming hundreds of big blinds in with a gutty and then just drilling it. Only the pros are losing. It was basically confirmed amongst all of the pros that the game was cheated, but there's just no recourse.
An interesting development upon the release of the Department of Justice's indictment, one that didn't make as many headlines, is the fact that Chauncey Billups, referenced in the documents themselves as co-conspirator 8, was also linked to Operation Nothing But Net. Billups allegedly was telling parties involved about specific Blazers players who would not be playing in a regular season game against the Chicago Bulls in 2023. This was information that wasn't available to the public or the betting companies themselves. The idea that an active head coach, let alone one that is a former Hall of Fame player, could have been this intertwined with the heart of this investigation may be the most shocking part of all. These are the types of allegations that not only ruin careers, but result in the questioning of the entire machine itself.
That breaking news, brand new video shows Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups leaving federal court. He appeared before a judge on charges of money laundering and wire fraud conspiracy. The FBI says he's involved in a massive illegal gambling scheme. The case involves millions of dollars, the mafia, and dozens of alleged co-conspirators, including other big names in the NBA.
For federal investigators, these two operations, Nothing But Net and Royal Flush, represent 4 years of work, dozens of search warrants, and thousands of hours of surveillance footage.
Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
As news spread of the arrest on October 23, 2025, the NBA released a statement that same day, saying, "We are in the process of reviewing the federal indictments announced today. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are being placed on immediate leave from their teams, and we will continue to cooperate with the relevant authorities. And the integrity of our game remains our top priority." Public reaction ranged from disbelief to resignation, shocked as a sitting NBA head coach and active player were arrested mid-season. This marked another scandal in a sport now intertwined with the very betting markets it once condemned. Hours after the FBI press conference the day of the arrests, investigative journalist Pablo Torre shared a statement from Terry Rozier's attorney, Jim Trusty. He said, quote, "We have represented Terry Rozier for over a year. A long time ago, we reached out to these prosecutors to tell them we would have an open line of communication. They characterized Terry as a subject, not a target. But at 6 a.m. this morning, they called to tell me FBI agents were trying to arrest him in a hotel. It is unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for a photo op. They wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations in this case. They appear to be taking the word of spectacularly incredible sources rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Terry was cleared by the NBA, and these prosecutors revived that non-case. Terry is not a gambler, but he is not afraid of a fight, and he looks forward to winning this fight." In this statement, Terry's lawyer referenced a previous investigation conducted by the NBA, who had been looking into Terry Rozier about potential sports gambling in the past, an investigation that had come up empty. This is a forceful response by Rozier's lawyer, one that frames the arrests as overreach and questions the credibility of the FBI's sources. For Rozier, that message may set the tone for his defense and how fans interpret the unfolding case going forward. In the age of social media, verdicts arrive long before trials do. Within hours of the news, fans and media across the world speculated about the situation. Many on social media looked to past games, pointing out negative performances and moments from both coaches and players involved that could have pointed to disingenuous involvement in the situation. For the NBA, the stakes go beyond names on an indictment. The league has positioned itself at the center of the new American betting economy. Partnerships, sponsorships, and live odds are now a major part of the viewing experience. But as one sports ethics expert put it, when the house and the game share the same roof, any crack in integrity threatens the entire structure. This investigation forces the NBA to confront a contradiction. Can you promote betting as entertainment while keeping its darker edges at bay?
This is something that everybody in professional sports understood was a reality when they embraced the legalization of widespread sports betting.
There is a bold line that obviously has to be drawn between legal sports gambling when it comes to the public and anything that might infiltrate into locker rooms and into teams. And we all knew it was going to be a complication as this became more and more prevalent within the world of sports.
The FBI has confirmed that the investigation isn't over. More arrests could be expected, more names could surface, and now, for the league and the public, the only choice is to wait. Federal prosecutors say the operation ran for years. 4 years of surveillance, thousands of hours of video, and victims losing millions of dollars. The accused face charges of wire fraud, extortion, and illegal gambling, crimes that could carry significant prison time if proven. But for every statement from the FBI, there's a counterstatement from a defense attorney. And for every allegation, a denial. For now, all the parties involved await their day in court. And the league, once again, finds itself defending not just its players, but the very idea that the game can still be pure now that the Pandora's box of legalized betting is open. The game has always mirrored the world around it. Ambition, money, risk and reward. But in the rush to merge sports and betting, lines have blurred. How much access is too much? And what happens when the temptation is too great?